Welcome guys to my second episode of the K-Swap guide, and I'm warning you this will be a boring episode because mainly I will be discussing the theoretical work, the wiring to order the right ECU, all the small sensor for the K24 route if you are going or the K20 route if you are going. So the episodes are lengthy because I am covering four things. Either K24 route, I am covering also K20 route, I am covering ZF1 CRZ or the second gen fit, and also I am covering ZF2 or the third gen Honda fit. So that's why sometimes you will get irritated because I will be telling you this. But bear with me, after this episode it will be getting interesting. We will be working on the engine and preparing the car to get the swap.
First of all, the ECU and wiring we are using depends on what model car you have. In Honda CRZ ZF1 chassis, I have covered the difference between ZF1 and ZF2 in the previous video, and Honda's Fit second generation and Honda Insight second gen. We will be using Honda Civic Si FG2, which comes with the K20Z3. This is the Civic Si in the USA, and this is how it looks like. This is the FG2 Civic Si. This comes with K20Z3 engine. Okay. Next, we can also use FN2. For example, the countries where there is no this Civic Si, non-US countries, then they can use the Civic FN2. Okay, the Civic FN2. This looks like this. This is a downgraded version of a Type R Civic. In some countries where Type R was not launched, this is launched. Okay, so this contains a K20A engine. Okay, so or you can also use the Civic Type R, which is FD2 Civic, which is mostly found in Asian countries, Japan. Okay, this we can also use its ECU and wiring, but this is quite rare Civic, so it will be very expensive to find its ECU and wiring. Okay, this one was a Civic, and this was this is the Civic Type R, and this is again, look at the model 2007 to 11. Okay, so we are aiming in this model 2007 to 11 in US Civic Si, FN2 and FT2. Okay, so the original company which did the swap only used this one, and on their user manual only this one is written, but I am telling you we have tested all these and they work just fine. So now you have two more options. Okay, depending on your country, your circumstances, your budget, you can use any one of these if you have any one of these car models. Okay, let's move forward. In CRZ ZF2 chassis, Honda Fit, which come with Ultream engine 2013 plus, and Honda Insight third gen. I personally have not seen any insights with a K-Swap or any motor enthusiast modifying insights. They are just for the economy purpose. And next, we will be using Civic Si 2012 to 15 ECU and wiring and channels. Okay, this is the Civic Si 2000. This comes with K20Z engine, and this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the K 2.4 liter Civic Si. This is also in the USA. So but I have seen, I have helped the people use uh, these these in these two. Okay, so you can use this with slight modification, but that is on your own. And other advice I will tell for these two owners, the ZF2 and Civic third and Fit third gen owners or inside, if you are going for the swap, why don't you choose the route which is already time tested? Okay, this route. For example, CRZ owners, why don't you sell your ZF2 CRZ and buy a ZF1 which is beaten up? Because you will have already, you will have to change this engine batteries, so it does not matter. You will find very good deals on these. Okay, which have dead batteries or which have low life batteries. Okay, so why don't you sell your good working ZF2 CRZ and buy this one, or trade these two? You will save $3,000 to $4,000 on that, and you can use that for the swap. So instead of trying these new routes which are just emerging right now and people are struggling with it, am getting emails and messages and posts regarding helping this one. They are ZF2, they are figuring out right now. Okay, few companies, 1 to 2, have succeeded in this. Okay, but they are still getting the CAN bus errors, other errors. So I do not recommend this. This is a very new route, people are exploring it, so I recommend using these. Okay, then let's move next forward. And ECU should be manual, not the automatic. Okay, so let me tell you. For example, let's type on eBay Civic Si ECU, and this will be A12. Okay, A12 is for manual and A14 is for automatic. Okay, so this is very important. Let's see the ECU, and we are looking for this number. Okay, 37820 RRB A12. Okay, so this is the ECU number we are matching. For example, look in my car, 37820 RNB 812. Okay, so this is the ECU we are looking. Next is the wiring. Again you will type 06 Civic Si engine is the must. Okay, because if I exclude this and search, look at, I get some wiring harness, the headlight, the radio, this is interior harness, this is the rear wiring harness. So please don't order this and just order the engine minus. This is the one we are looking for, the 6-speed manual. Okay, this is the one more suits for us. Another thing, for example, the lower one is also offering the charge harness. Look at this red one. Okay, but this looks beat up. Okay, look at the price. This is alone $129, this is $85. So let us look on both of them. This is the one, looks very good. Okay, because don't cheap out, just spend the 20 more bucks and buy the quality product, because one broken wire in here or one broken terminal in here, and this will be a lot of headache for you to sort out. Okay, so let's look on the other one, this one. Let's see how this looks. Okay, look at that, it's already beaten up, but this includes the charge harness. This is the charge harness. The battery terminal is the that giveaway that this is a charge harness, and this is what I am looking for. This one, this right here is the charge harness, and this is the engine harness. Okay, if you are getting a good deal on both of them, buy them. But if you are getting quality and separately, then I recommend buying them separately. Civic Si 2011 charge harness, I am getting this. This is $85 because this includes both, but this is the quality product. Another thing very important, just buy for the manual. Okay, for example, this one is mentioning that this is for manual 6-speed. Okay, so this is the one I am dead sure we should buy. Okay guys, on to the next. We are covering the sensor or the smaller parts we will be needing for this swap. Let me start. The first is the side bracket bolt. If you read your HASPOT mount instruction, and they say that you need this bolt part number. Okay, for this side bracket we used. Okay, this will be going in this, but the bolt they mentioned is wrong one. This is too long. Okay, so this is the bolt I used, which was left over from my older engine, because when you swap you have so many bolts left from the older engine transmission. You can use any of them. Oxygen sensor. Okay, the oxygen sensor, first when we swapped we were using or buying the new oxygen sensor from the Civic Si, the wiring we will be using, but later on we came to know that your OEM CRD oxygen sensor can work. Okay, it depends on you, if you want to use the catalytic converter or you want to use the two oxygen sensor. One is the primary oxygen sensor or the AFR sensor. We usually use this and we don't use the second one. Okay, so this is your choice. If you your country has emissions, use the catalytic converter, etc, etc, then it's your choice. I will be covering both when we do the wiring. Okay, I will be telling you if you are using the second oxygen sensor how to wire that. Okay, this is the part number. Please remember, this is for those who are using 2007 to 11 Si. If you are using in ZF2 chassis, for example 2015 wiring ECU, you will order these sensors respectively for those models. Okay, if I search on the eBay, let me show the, you have to mention this upstream sensor, and this is also showing this. This is showing the exact number we want. This one, I have opened this up. This is the number 23490. This is the sensor we want. Another tricky thing is sometime those this connector is different. Okay, sometime you have female and this is also a female connector. Sometime they send you with a male connector and you also have a male connector. So no problem, you can use this one I ordered from the AliExpress. You can buy it from eBay. This is the universal Honda terminals. These are the 10 for just $11. So buy this one, and this will also help you if your sensor grips are not matching. I converted my both oxygen sensor ends with the converted like this. This is very easy. I will show you how to do it when doing the oxygen sensor wiring. This is the one I used, same what I showed, and look at what length I used. Okay, so I have elongated this length. Okay, so you want to this length to be long, because if you are using headers, the oxygen sensor will be way back. Okay guys, so the minor things, but these matter a lot. For example, as we will not be using the MAF airflow sensor, and that sensor integrates an intake temperature sensor too. Okay, so we will need a separate IAT or intake air temperature sensor. Okay, so this is a sensor. It looks like this. Okay, so this is the 2 pin sensor. But there is a tricky part. There's another one which is bigger than this. Okay, let me show you this. This one is bigger, this one is smaller, so we need a smaller one. Okay, let me measure that. If you are not sure, you can ask your seller to measure that. So this is 17.7 and the small one is 14.2 something. Okay, the other thing, when you buy the sensor, these are dirt cheap, and do buy its grip and with some wire. Okay, because the SI wiring does not come with this sensor grip. Okay, which will make the super sensitive is just with a cutter blade shave off the plastic. Take your time because you can waste the sensor and expose the coil like I did, like this. But if you are patient, then this is the result we want. This glassy look. There's another one with a glassy tip exposed. Okay, so this makes the sensor super fast reacting. Okay, because if you are using a turbo setup, the intake temperature can change dramatically, and ECU will not compensate if the sensor is super slow. For example, like this thick plastic over it, look at those clips. Okay, this one has very thick plastic and this one is bare, and I will make another video to show this one is how fast this one is. This is the sensor which comes with the K24. This is the oil pressure sensor. Okay, this is just below the where your oil filter is on the back side of the engine. Okay, this is part which goes into the engine. Then this is part where the K24 wiring and grip bolts on. But you will need sensor like this which will have a grip like this. Okay, there is a rubber covering this grip. I will show you where it is located. So just you need to buy the sensor which bolts on to this grip. Okay guys, let me show you here. This is back side of my engine. This was a K24, and this is the sensor, oil pressure sensor just above the oil filter, and this is how the Accord one looks like. This is not compatible with that wiring. We will be needing this one. We will not need the grip because wiring already comes with the grip. Okay, just the sensor we want. Just to show you another look, here it is, and the Accord one and the one we want. This is the most common sensor on most of Hondas. For example, Honda Civic, Honda Fit CR, Honda L engine, so many. But this one comes with a rear. Okay, and this is the look we want because there is an oil pressure switch. Okay, that I will show that is different than this. Okay, so let me show you. This is the part number, and another showing you. Yeah, this is how it will look on the back side. Okay, so this is the most common. You can buy it from the junkyard, old body parts, etc. Here's another one, and here's how it will look from the inside. Just one grip, the oval shape. Just remember this shape when you buy this sensor. So the ZF2 third gen fit, etc. Then the oil sensor is different, of course. Look at this. This is a 3 grip sensor and it is very expensive one. So good luck with that. That's why I'm emphasizing just buy ZF1 or the previous Honda Fit and do the swap in them, because ZF2 is looking more and more expensive and difficult. Okay, there's the switch I was talking about. Okay, this is the VTEC pressure switch. Look at that grip. Okay, this is just different. Okay, I will show you where this fits. Okay, this is just the above oil filter. Here it is located. This is the VTEC solenoid. Okay, some people say this is the VTEC solenoid. This is the RBB one, and let me tell you on the engine where it is RBB written. This is not the solenoid but the spool assembly. This one is responsible for advancing or retarding the cam angle. This one is responsible for engaging the VTEC. Okay, on JDM engines, this was JDM K24A. They don't come with this. Okay, so this was empty. In initial swaps, we thought this was necessary because the wiring which we ordered had this grip, so we used it. But later on, we found out there was no use for it in our setup, so you will be fine. But I did open this nut and put the sensor here, but you will not need this. Okay, this is my one installed. Okay, so This is after the installation. So you will not you will not need this. Just you will need to disable this in the Flash Pro or K-Tuner. This option, VTech oil pressure switch enable disable. We enable the switch, but error was still there, so we disable the switch. This is just a safety measure. If oil level is too low, VTech won't be engaged. So if you regularly check your engine oil level, just you will be safe, no worry.
So this is a safety feature. You want to use it, or else the JDM K20s don't have it, the K24s don't have it. This is just the USA Civic uses, okay? So this is optional. We are not using it. You will be absolutely fine if you don't use it. Okay, other is the NOx sensor. This is the sensor K24 use, and the sensors of the K20, K24 and the K21 is slightly deeper or longer than this, and this is the grip this one uses. Your K20 wiring which will come, which will use for swap, will not bolt on to K24 sensor, okay? So if you are using a K24, just you need to buy this grip, or this is the same grip most common use. Even you can cut it out from your Honda CRZ or Honda Fit wiring, okay? So if you want to keep that wiring, you don't want to disturb that wiring, you can buy this from the junkyard, okay? So just cut it from your CRZ wiring and just attach it to the new wiring, and this will be cover your NOx sensor. So you don't need to change the NOx sensor for the K24, just need to change this grip, okay? I will show you in the diagrams. Let's move next. These are the oxygen sensor bungs. These are cheap and stainless steel. You order 2 of these. For example, if you want to use a wideband sensor, and I will put the links. If you don't want to use, this is a blocking plug. Just block it and it will be closed, okay? So this is a small thing but helps a lot. Okay, next during the wiring, you will need a voltmeter to check the continuity of the wires and to test which wire is going where. That is very important. The voltmeter should have this continuity test, okay? This is the unit I use. Very nice, very responsive units, and cheap too. Okay, let me put it on this continuity mode. Okay, this one also has a buzzer, okay? This is very important. This little speaker, okay? This is the one we are looking, because all the time we cannot look at this. Sometimes we are far and the wire is long, and the hearing helps very well. Let me connect these two together and show you how it sounds. Okay, so when the wire is okay, the wire is continuous, so it will beep. Okay, another thing, minor thing is, sometimes these come with these pointed tips, okay? So all the time these pointed tips, sometime, for example, if I'm working on this grip, I will touch it this one and it is fine. But sometime, for example, if I want to check this grip, the terminal is not even going in because this is very thick. So what you will need is, you will order these crocodile clamps, okay? These are very handy. These will also grip the wire for you. For example, this wire, and you don't want to have to hold it with your hands, okay? So what you will do is just put a needle, this one, and now this will go easily and deep, okay? Let's see, I want to check this one. So now this will go inside, okay? So this is very helpful. Voltmeter and crocodile clamp and a needle. This is all you need to do the wiring, and I will show you when we will do the wiring. Okay, next is the map sensor. The map sensor, you don't need to change it. The K24, K20, your CRZ all have the same one. This will just bolt on. But if you are going turbo, the stock map sensor will work up to the 10 psi, okay? And a K24 on 10 psi puts nearly 350 horsepower. So that's enough. But if you still want to push your car 400, 450, 500 horsepower, then you should buy the 4-bar map sensor. This is Honda 4-bar map sensor for the K series. This is just a bolt on, no need to change the grip, okay? Another very important sensor I forgot. This is the crank sensor, okay? And you don't need to change the crank sensor if you are using a K24. Just you need to change is the wiring pattern of the grip. For example, let me explain what I am saying. In 2-wire sensor, it does not matter if you reverse the polarity. You can connect this to the other wire and vice versa, okay? It does not matter, the sensor, the ECU, both will be happy. But in the 3-terminal sensor, the 4, 5, etc., it will matter. So this is a 3-terminal sensor. For example, look at this. This is its power, this is the ground, and this one is the signal, okay? Now the ECU is expecting signal from this wire, and it is sending power to this wire, and this is the ground. Okay, but what if the sensor is sending the signal to the this wire? Okay, so what we will need to do is we will swap this wire to the this wire. Okay, so in K24 I will show you the sensor is putting out from that wire. We will attach this wire to that position, and I will show you how where to put the power and where to put the ground. Okay, so in K20 you don't need to change, in K24 you need to change the order, and this is very simple. You just pull out this white grip from here, and open the lock with the needle, pull the wire out and put it on the other position, put this white lock back. That will be okay. So I will be showing that when we will do the wiring.
Okay, now that will be it for the episode 3. I know you want to see the good stuff, but the preparation is very important. And I know you want to see these pictures, the engine being taken out, the engine being put back, but we will get there first. In the next episode, we will prepare the engine, and depending on what parts you are putting it, and then we will fit it into the car, and then we will do the wiring next. Okay, so until next, take care. Bye bye.